It's my pleasure to welcome you to the hot seat on MCL Television. My name is Chimdi Oluoha, and with me today is somebody that is very familiar on this platform. He's been here before, an APC high-ranking officer in the state. He is Mike Ozemena. Mike Ozemena used to be the factional publicity secretary of APC. It's my pleasure to welcome him. Welcome, Mike.
It's my pleasure.
Are you still the factional publicity secretary of APC, or have you tried to resolve the problem?
Well, there's no faction in APC. APC is one. The only thing that was resolved was the candidature of the party by the Supreme Court. You know, in the Supreme Court, they have ruled that there is only one party, and that party is at the national. And so any primaries done by the national is the one that is taken by INEC. So, but for the party, there is no contention. There is no other ruling against anybody, against Dr. Emmanuel Ndukwe as the chairman of the party. So there is nothing like faction in the party.
Yeah, you are saying that Emmanuel Ndukwe
is the chairman of the party today.
In Abia State.
Yes, because the ruling of even the Supreme Court did not touch the Exhibit H that we had. Because there, of course, there's another of court making Dr. Emmanuel Ndukwe the chairman of the party. So they didn't notify it. They just dealt with the issue of primaries, which were accepted as law-abiding of the party's officers.
And so, in other words, you're saying that the APC in Abia State stood behind Dr. Uchoga during the election?
Of course, we were all there. We all worked for the party. Don't forget that there was nobody's name there. What we had was a APC logo, and they didn't, like me, everybody who worked for APC. So Dr. Uchoga was the candidate then, and then the court said so, and so what can we do?
So it took the court to resolve the matter.
Yeah, sure, because this is a democracy. This is democracy. In a democratic dispensation, what you do if you are aggrieved, instead of taking laws into your hand, you go to the courts, and then once the court say okay, that's it. If I tell you that. Yes, we might not be too happy, but then what can you do as a party man? You must vote for your party, you must work for your party. And in Abanot, I work for the party APC.
Okay, behind the court judgment, what is happening among the party?
No, the two gladiators.
Members, the two factions.
Yeah, the two gladiators. We're talking about High Chief Ikechemeke and Uchoga. They met in the High Chief's house, and then they agreed to work together, and that was there.
That was for the election.
Yes.
Now, the election.
No, for the party. Like I said to you, there is nothing against the party. The party. There is an order of court, making Dr. Emmanuel, and it's not been set aside by any court. Until that is also done, if that is done too, as law-abiding citizens of the country, we will also abide by it. But the point is this: that we are bona fide members of APC is the first and foremost thing. So if I'm here as an APC person. Everywhere I go, everything I do, in my vehicle you see APC chieftain, APC man. Even if I am not the public secretary, it doesn't matter. But for me, I joined the party not as APC, not as a public secretary. I joined the party because I love APC. I joined the party even when it was APP. From APP to MPP, from MPP down to APC. So I have been there. So I didn't join because Buhari became president. I have been there before. So all the people who came because the food was ready will also leave us, and we will be there.
Okay. You said a few minutes ago that, yes, you are yet to complete the reconciliation.
Yeah, we'll do that.
How soon would that be?
Very soon, sooner than you think. Very soon. Dr. Sungankpa, Chief Honorable Dr. Sungankpa is my friend, my bosom friend. We have nothing, absolutely nothing. It was a principled fight. So it was a fight on principle. And so, for me, there is absolutely, if he comes in here now, you'll be surprised at the way we will greet. So we are all members. Yes, we had different ideologies on the things, but I tell you, there is absolutely no problem with APC in Abia.
Very well. The 2019 elections have been won and lost.
Well, that is in parentheses.
Well, at least going by INEC declarations.
Yes,
okay.
Today.
Yeah. What's your assessment of the process?
Well, everybody knows that what we had in Abia was a charade, simple and clear. You know, if you look at the way the results came, it's almost among 19,000, Isialangwa North 19,000, Isialangwa South 19,000, Ugunabatu 19,000. I mean, it looks funny. You know, so I know that my party is working on that. My party is going to court, and so we've not accepted that result. So no APC man has accepted that result. So we are going to court to see that we reclaim the mandate. If we try to reclaim the mandate, I mean, if I enter the office, nobody will say they have an APC person. You understand? And so I can't support this government against my party. And of course, this election we've not accepted it as a party. And so for me, it was a challenge, and then I was there. You know, when I saw 20 votes, 30 votes, and then when the results were coming now through collation, and then I was seeing thousands. In Obingwa, it was 78,000 something. You know, you have to prove to us that they really got those votes. You know, we're in court, so it's a subject is to discuss what is the matter in court now. So when we get to the tribunal, then we will discuss all of those.
Very well. Many people feel that politicians will always complain when the elections fail to go their way. Yes, you are complaining now because PDP has won and your party APC lost. Whereas, assuming APC won this election,
no,
and then the other party lost, would you say
we had everything going for us? Don't forget that we have the federal government, but the president, the leader of the party, the president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Nigeria, I mean General Muhammadu Buhari, decided to be a thorough Democrat. That is why you could see that we lost Bauchi as APC. You can also see that we lost Oyo State. And in Sokoto, they defeated APC with 342 votes. If not that the president decided to be a Democrat, it would never happen. So we had everything going for us to muzzle the election in Abia even. But we decided to leave the election to the will of the people.
But the Osun election, the court had to...
No. The Osun election said, don't forget, they said that the INEC had no power to conduct supplementary election, which is neither here nor there. It won't hold waters. We're already in the appeal court. How can you say that INEC, I mean, this election that had just gone, how many supplementary elections were done by INEC? INEC is the only authority that determines how an election is run by constitutional provisions. You know, so you cannot tell INEC that they have done something and say it's not right. Anyway, that is matter for, is in appeal now. But I tell you what, if we wanted, don't forget in this state, we were here 2007, when on the eve of election, a REC, Resident Electoral Commissioner, was removed in this state. A Commissioner of Police was removed in this state for the purposes of getting somebody elected. So we could have also done that if we wanted, but unfortunately, we wanted to play the good boy, and then they played the bad boy, and then they tweeted us. And they didn't do it even smartly. So I can assure you.
So it was a case of one being tricked by the other?
No. I said if we had wanted to rig, we wanted to win in a clear fashion because this government did not perform. So we knew that Abians are ready to vote out the government. If you go to the street, it's like somebody is a funeral. It's a funeral going on. Nobody is like some people died. Nobody is happy with this result. You are here. You go to the town and you find that you are a journalist. But if I can tell you that if APC had won, this day would have been agog. So what I'm saying is that we, the APC, left the thing to the will of the people. And then we didn't know that PDP had planned something, had planned suicide. And we were just watching, and then they stole the pot of soup that we had in our
Many people will not agree with you. Many people feel that politicians will always rig elections. It is just a matter
where you are not popular.
It is a matter of
where you are not popular.
A matter of who outrigged the other.
No, sir.
And when you are tricked, you begin to complain.
When you have federal government, sir, you can't, if you know, you can control the INEC. You can control the police. You can control, if you want to do it the Obasanjo way, the Morisi way, you will be in the hotel room and write the result and tell them go to court. But we didn't want, I can tell you, you see what happened in Kano. President Buhari won with over 1.something million votes. And then in the government, after 2 weeks, the governor was now struggling because we left everything to the will of the people. APC is not a party of riggers. Yes, some of those people from PDP came in. And like I said, I started APC from APP. So some of those guys who came, yes, some of them just because they could import.
And they introduced rigging in APC.
No. I said, but we have a principle. General Buhari has a principle. A principle, that's why they call him Baba Megaskia, a man of truth. We're even quarreling with him in the party. Sir, why did you not use your powers to get this job done? We are losing states. If we wanted to rig, why would we lose? We won't lose any state, we will add. Don't forget in this state too, there was a time we had 9 governors in APP. But after the 2003 election, PDP stole everything and we had only 4 or 5. But this time around, Buhari said to you, I want to leave a legacy of fair and clean election. And by the grace of God, this 9th assembly will do something, will bring a law, an electoral act that will make it difficult for anyone, for the kind of failure that we had in Abia to be re-elected the way he was. It shows you that.
But the president, who is a member of your party, is blamed for not signing the amended electoral bill. Because they allege that APC wanted to use the lacuna in the existing law
to
also rig.
To the contrary, we saw the kind of hacking they wanted to do. Are you in Nigeria? They had imported the man from US who ran the election for Donald Trump to come and hack into. The man is in the police net today. To hack into INEC so that if you are transmitting the election via electronics, the man will hack and turn it. So we saw through all that. How on earth, 9th Assembly will be inaugurated on the June of 8th this year. And they will have to now wait until a month or 2 months to election of 2023 to begin to present a law to the president? Is that what you're telling me? What did they do this election so that we can try it in Anambra, try it in Ekiti, try it again in Osun, and then test the veracity of the law? You wait for, at the 11th hour, you bring a law to the president that has not been tried. Does it make sense to you, sir?
Well, you complained that the election in Abia was a charade a few minutes ago.
And everybody knows that.
And many people also complained that the federal elections, which brought back President Buhari, was also a charade.
Well, that's what they say because they lost too.
So you see,
So let me say,
does it confirm the statement that it's a question of when you lose, you complain, and when you win, you won't complain?
No. I just told you something. If you watch the antecedents, if you watch the electoral value of Mr. President, starting from when Obasanjo was even in 2003, he contested the election against Obasanjo, and he had 12-point-something million votes from the north. Again, he ran an election again in 2007. He had 12-point-something million votes, even when a northerner was also contesting against him. In 2011 too, consistently, he also got these votes. And 2015, he now added some votes, having gotten this working relationship with Jagaban the Ahmed Bola Tinubu. So Southwest now gave some votes, and then he got to 15.something million, which of course also got us where we are today. So the president, of course, is not a rigger. If it was a rigger, this election would have ended in hours before starting. But you could see a contest. He allowed it to be a contest. Like I told you, some of the hawks in our party are angry with the man. Why do you have to allow for clean election? But we thank God that the president is there. We hope that by the end of his tenure, that someone else coming from APC again will follow his footsteps. Because I know that for a long time, APC will be here. We want to sanitize this country. We want to make sure that if Oroha is the people's choice, he goes through election and wins with or without money. That's the issue. That's the point. The man didn't spend a dime. He didn't spend money.
But many people can attest to the fact that a lot of money was spent during this election, including the APC.
How?
A whole lot of money.
We didn't buy votes. We didn't buy votes. We didn't have to buy votes. I mean, would you have to? You mean Buhari bought votes in Castina?
Your party even
no.
Your party even here spent a whole lot of money during the election.
How? If we spent money,
we will alleged that you also spent a whole lot of money buying votes.
Alleged. Thank God that you use the word alleged. And I am an officer of the party on the ground, and I tell you that we did it. If we did, we would have swept this money away.
Are you saying that you didn't give voters money during the
What we did, the money we spent was on our agents. Because we had agents in all the 300 something polling or 3,000 something polling units of in the state. We had agents. We paid the agents.
You gave the money to also
give
to people
I said we paid. There is stipends for agents for their food, for their drink, for the job they've done.
And then for some other jobs to be done.
No, we have no reason to do that. If you have the people, APC was already cruising to victory, if not for the armed robbery that happened. I mean, if they also could allow you to get 99,000 votes, with all the kind of charade that happened, then it means that you won the election. If you remove all the from 1,900 to 19,000, from 3,000 to 32,000, that kind of stuff. I mean, it won't stand the scrutiny of the law. We are going to test it.
Many voters have come to say that they got as much as 10,000 from some of your candidates.
Which candidate? Tell me who. Tell me who. Which organ? Who? Nobody. We had no budget for that. No, I tell you what. I tell you can prove me wrong. We had no budget for. If we had the budget for crying out loud, if we had matched the money for money, of course we don't have stolen money that we can use in this state. The federal government, the man closed everywhere, closed the CBN. Nobody was going. It's not like 2015 where dollars were shared on the street. So in this one, President Buhari said to everybody in the party, don't come to me for money for election. Go and source the money yourself.
And they went and sourced the money themselves.
No. He also said, don't open the government vault. You can see that we were complaining. After election this time, I didn't have 1,000 naira to go home with as an officer of the party.
But there were reports during a few days to the election that one of your party chieftains had a bullion van entering his house, and the matter stopped there.
No, who was that?
You're a party man, you should know.
I don't know. Tell me. If you talk about the Jagaban, you're talking about Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Ahmed Bola Tinubu is a well-made man. I mean, he said to you, he didn't dispute it. He said that the way I spend my money, my private money, he's not been in government since 2007.
So?
He's not been in government. No.
He went sourcing the money.
No. I know my boss. That's my boss, former governor of CBN. If you go to his house, you will see bullion van packed there. He bought it when he was living, when they were selling assets. So if you go there now and you see bullion van, and someone say, he has packed all the money. No. Ahmed Tinubu is a grassroots politician. He will win election here any day in Lagos. That was why it can take only Ahmed Tinubu to say to a governor, sitting governor, you won't go again. and we bring somebody else, and the person wins. It's landslide.
And that's democracy?
No, that's democracy. Because
decided by one man?
No, not one man. He is the leader. No, I said the leader of the party. The whole councillors, 300 and something councillors of the state, signed for Sanwo-Olu. The whole local government chairman, 20, and then all the other 50 something, the one created by him, all of them signed for Sanwo-Olu. So it means the party moved from the governor. And then because the man didn't want what happened to us now in Bauchi to happen, or what happened to us in Adamawa to happen in Lagos, it could have also happened if you had brought somebody who is not popular. The man will have lost. We also, as a party, owe a whole lot of gratitude to Ahmed Tinubu for that singular gesture, because he showed that he is a man of tact. If not, when the party had listened to our party members in Bauchi or our party members in Adamawa, by now we wouldn't have been having the problem we had over there. Because sometimes you can be a governor, but you're not popular with the people, just like this one here. But because PDP thrives on impunity, they know, of course, we were not paying the staff salaries, we were not paying the teachers, we were not paying workers, we can use the money and buy them. And then because they know hunger, there is a lot of hunger in this state, they were just buying 50 naira like they're not. They were buying votes.
Talking about Abia, many people feel that there was no way a party in turmoil, a party that has been torn by internal conflicts,
which party was that?
Would have won an election under that situation.
Which party is that?
Even at almost to the election time, you were still having factions. With APC.
One beautiful thing with APC is that as I speak to you now, if you call Honorable Donatus Wampa and say, Mike, or say, who is Mike? The first thing he will tell you is that he is a member of APC. What did we do? We told our supporters, different supporters, look.
Different factions.
Different supporters, I didn't say faction. That look, we are of APC. Go to the polling unit. You will not see anybody's face. You will see the day of election. I had to work with the candidates here, at least in my ward, as the leader of the party over there. The whole thing revolved around me. Just like the same way everywhere in the party. If anybody, even the chairman from the other camp came and met with me in Ward 2, where I work. So there was nothing like the factional anything. We went all out to deliver the state first. The only thing was that our efforts was checkmated by the armed robbery that took place on that day. I can also tell you something. As day follows night, we will reclaim the mandate.
Well, that's it from the Ozemena. Mike, it's been indeed interesting discussing with him. We will continue, but that will be after this break. Don't go away.
The need to know arouses curiosity, and the need to inform drives the reader. Politics is a way of life, so how politics plays out and its complexities for the issues on the hot seat. Politics is laid bare by the gladiators.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCL TV.
Guy, you know that yellow papa wey dey our street where we so?
Wait, which one? That one where they trip for me? Now my babe now.
Free me, Joe. If you no get money, hide your face. I hide my face.
Come, now me you talk like that. Guy, I be big boy. You see this TV so? You know how much I buy am? 200k, see this one. You were poor like don't show the market rat.
True, now me they call market rat. See all those Gucci and Pate where hush puppy they show for Instagram so. Now me buy am for am.
Guy, you know e-money? E-money na my boy. Money where you dey spray, now me give am.
See this one oh. You know that Linda Cage house for Banana Island? Now me dash her.
That one a house. Maybe you know OBO Davido. That 30 billion where dey your account, na me borrow am.
Forget it. You see that snake where swallow jam money? Now me send am. Now CBN they go next.
Tuale Baba. Ah hello, Tuale. Where you dey?
True, bros. You just had a lie. He dey my back.
Hey, what did you do?
Oh yeah.
It's good to know you are still there. And this is the hot seat on MCL TV. Our guest has been Mike Ozemena, and we'll be discussing Nigerian politics and the 2019 elections that had just ended. Mike, before the election, APC was trying to tell Nigerians, and particularly the Southeasterners, that the Southeast will become an all APC state. And some of you were campaigning to ensure that APC won in the 5 Southeast states. But apart from Anambra already, that's already Abga. But behold, you lost the only state that was APC, Imo, to PDP.
Yeah, we thank you very much for bringing that up. We lost because of mismanagement. We mismanaged the party in Imo State. If not, if you watch the results, if you add even a quarter of APC and AA's results, you will see that APC will have still easily win. But for, like I said, mismanagement and misunderstanding that happened prior to the election. But I'll tell you what, we also made some significant progress in APC Southeast. For the first time, we now have 3 senators from day one, House of Reps members. It didn't happen that way before. 2015, we had no senator from the Southeast, even though we had the governor, Richard Okorocha. But right now, we have 3 senators. Even the other one from YPP also has joined, so making them 4. So out of 20, we have 4. So it is a significant inroad into the Southeast. You know, we told our people, and we still say that you need to join the table where things about your country is being discussed. You cannot be an opposition continually. Even the Yorubas, who used to be perpetual opposition members, are now in the ruling party because they've seen the futility, the disadvantage of being outside the seat of power, outside the table where things are discussed. That's why today you have the Yorubas, majority of their states are APC states. So what am I saying? We preached, yes. We didn't get all we wanted, but we got some. And we're happy. We're happy that at least we have started on a good note. If not for the, like I said, if not for the armed robbery that happened in Abia, we would have also won Abia. At least we hope this Abia North Senatorial Zone was easily won. It was the first one that was announced because it was clear. Onyejocha is also a House of Reps as one Noche Strato constituency. And then today we have about 3 or 4 House of Assembly members in Abia. It didn't happen that way in 2015. So we're making inroads.
And many people feel that the problem the governor of Imo is going through now, Rochas Okorocha, is a kind of a result of
orchestrated by the party?
Well, if you want to put it that way, the party appears not to be ready to assist him to get his senatorial seat.
If we didn't
when he was actually the person who helped to introduce APC in the Southeast.
If we didn't get the INEC, if we didn't muzzle INEC to announce APC winner, why should we now get INEC to refuse giving Okorocha certificate of return? What must we get in there? APC as a party is a recalcitrant member, yes. Of course, he shot himself. Because, I mean, you must also know that party supremacy is part of our political life. No matter what you do, you must share. Yes, we appreciate the fact of his contribution in the Southeast, but he also, by his own hands, tried to spoil and tear down the building, the house that he built. If not, you must know that if you want to go in, this is participatory democracy. which you must give. It is power of the people, by the people, and for the people. And so whatever you're doing, you must make sure that you carry your people along. It's not a winner takes all things. So the problem Mkota had was that he tried to use the party as a tool in his bedroom. And people said, no, you take some and you give us some. And then we will have been in the clear in the Imo State today. But we made that mistake, but I hope by 2023 that we should be able to correct it.
Are you not shooting yourselves on the party by denying a member who, by not helping a member who...
He's suspended now.
Who won an election under your ticket?
You know, if you err to the point of you being suspended as a sitting governor in a party, it takes also you doing some level of rapprochement and apology for people to also say, okay, you are now one of us. If Okorocha comes to the party and says, I have erred, I'm sorry, the party will be magnanimous enough to say, okay, you are. And then, of course, he's already in court. There is nothing much the party can do even now, because the matter must be allowed to run its full course in the court of law. So for us, we hope that tomorrow people will learn lessons from his travails and that of Amosu, and know that no matter what you do, you must also accede to the supremacy of the party in the national. Because like I said to you before, even the ones we did in Abia, we have learned some lessons too. That as far as we're concerned, as far as the law of the land is concerned, that the party remains in Abuja. You understand? So that was why why are they not suspending Rotimi Amaechi? Because Rotimi worked with the party. Supreme Court said denied us entry, participation in the. So he had to support another party. So that was not. So
that support was was approved by the party.
That is important. That's what I'm saying. Because he had to support somebody if he so wished. Since we are not on the ballot.
So the APC in Rivers supported.
Of course, they made it public.
Okay, so it wasn't Rotimi's decision.
No,
it was the party's decision.
Not party in Rivers. It's not our national party because we are not part of it as in Abia. But there in Rivers, of course, we had our candidates in Abia, so we supported our candidates in APC. If anybody now if I went to support any other candidate apart from APC candidate, it will be termed anti-party by the national or by the state, and then I could be suspended. That was why I told you that everybody, we want everybody, that irrespective of your feelings for anybody, you must go work for the party. And that's what we did.
It's okay. Before we continue, may I remind our viewer that if you want to participate in this conversation, please just send an SMS using the number on your screen right away. Yes. The Southeast and APC, you say you are happy with the level of achievement you've made.
The inroad. We've made some inroads. Not achievement. We've made some inroads. Because we will have wanted to have some states. Okay? But if you go to an exam and you get and then you wishing for A and you get a B or C and then you pass the course, what do? You say, well, let me get up, let me go and graduate. You understand? So for us, it was not what we wished for, because Abia was for the taking. Because here, we had nothing, but we of course we shot. What we did as a party is we did our campaigns. People were ready to vote for us. People voted for us. But we allowed, maybe because of what you just said, we allowed the armed robbery to take place. We shouldn't have allowed it. For the Southeast, like I said, if you have a party that didn't win one seat and they are now having 3-4, you see nothing wrong. I'm talking about senatorial, I'm talking about senators. Now that's why we're talking about, that's why we are agitating for some positions in the National Assembly. If we didn't have last time, nobody talked about it because there was nothing. The other one that would have to steal from PDP.
Yeah, talking about the National Assembly, as things are playing out now, what's the position of your party as regards as giving the Southeast a position in the National Assembly?
You know, in party politics, you have to also reward loyalty. You have to reward loyalty. That's what makes people know that, yes, there is a reward for being loyal to the party. So for us, we know that the party has made it clear that Ahmed Lawan from Northeast will be Senate President. He is now the leader of the Senate. And so any right-thinking person will make him graduate to that position. Of course, in 2015, he was also the anointed one. So I think from what I read from the National Working Committee of the party, what they're proposing is like they want to zone the Deputy Senate President to South-South, where, of course, we are also looking at people who were there for the party at the turbulent time. You know, but I'm also thinking that, luckily, either the whip or the deputy speaker will come to the Southeast. I think most likely the whip will come to the Southeast. Because, I mean, the Wajimogu, Senator Wajimogu, is also a second timer. OUK is first timer in the Senate, even though he had gone to the Federal House. So he cannot be compared to a fifth timer. Lawan is coming to the Senate the 5 times. It's not easy. He has everything it takes to be the presiding officer. So we are not even agitating for that. But we know that at least now, if they are sitting on that row, Southeast person will be there today. And this is a thing of joy. We're happy.
Yeah, talking about elections and intimidation and violence and all that, and you told us here a few minutes ago that your party, going by
our principle,
your leader, your national,
the principle of the party,
the national leader,
and
of
the
the
principle
party,
of the party,
the president.
I'd like you to add the principle of the party.
Okay,
because if not, if we don't have that state principle, even though he has had a good leader, we'll actually all gone against him.
Going by the principle of the party.
Wonderful.
That
non-violence.
Yeah, but what happened in Lagos just before the election?
What happened?
Where people from the Southeast were almost.
That's an allegation.
They were, of course. Yeah, it may be an allegation. But
that's an allegation.
It may be an allegation.
Yes.
Okay, very well. But we saw reports
that people were stopped,
were chased away,
like I said, and
prevented from voting.
Well, like I said, I'm sure you were not in Lagos. So you are not reporting. You are reporting here. Say
the world.
You are
the global village.
No. This
everything that happens.
No.
Whatever happens in Umuahia,
you can also play.
Is read in Lagos, Abuja, New York, wherever.
You can also play a film of 2003 here now and label it 2019. Possible. So for me,
you saying that the reports we had this year was what happened in 2015?
I said it could be. I didn't say it was. I said you can. With the ICT, the level of prowess of IPCT people now, you can label a film of 10 years ago. You can label it today, and people will look at it as what is happening in Kano, for example, or in Lagos. For me, I don't discuss what I am not. If I talk about Abia, and I'll tell you, oh, there was massive vote buying by the PDP, I can justify it because
and by APC too.
No. I said by PDP. We didn't have the money to do that. We didn't have the money to buy it, but we just was trying to ask people, please, we're preaching. If we had money, this election wouldn't have gone the way it went.
But are you happy with the level of intimidation recorded in parts of the country?
Where? I said we lost 4 states. If we were intimidating people, we would have lost the states.
Generally speaking, we had election observers have reported of intimidation by people.
In Sokoto, for example, our people were intimidated out. In Benue, the same thing, because the same governor of Benue State who didn't perform, who is owing about 11 months, how on earth can he be re-elected? So, we'll try to place saintly. It was an unfortunate thing, but we like it, we prefer it though. Because if it is APC that had done all of those...
The same thing happened in Kano, where you are holding sway.
No, Kano, the governor...
The intimidation...
About 45 parties
violence
had come to say that it was neither here nor there.
So it could have been either way.
No. They said it's not true. That they were there on ground. That the supplementary you know the antecedent of PDP. Their stock in trade is once they win, there is a good election. But anywhere they lose, that democracy is under threat. Once PDP is winning anywhere, wonderful election, like Oyo, wonderful. But they killed somebody. They killed a sitting house member.
That's an allegation.
No, it's not an allegation. The man died.
Who killed him?
And it's APC man. APC man would have killed APC man. Simple logic. APC man wouldn't have killed his candidate. Why would you do that? It presupposes that it must be an opponent that will kill him.
Maybe intra-party.
No. Once you finish
intra-party interests.
It's just like you telling me now that I see anybody, maybe KC, who was the DG for I shoot him during the election when he's bearing my party logo. No. If there's anything we have, we can as well settle it thereafter.
But you are.
Let me tell you something, sir. I might not be working with Buhari in the national, but if anybody who holds me on the road now, maybe police, and I say, I'm a PC man, the presidency to some degree covers me. So that's why everybody is happy that your party is there. It doesn't matter whether you get any private, any personal, any personal reward. No, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you make sure that your party, the principle of party, the ideology of your party, the manifesto of your party, the progressive ideology that we have. That's what we're talking about, Fabia. Because there is an ideology that we have of making sure that the government is for the poor people.
Many people feel, Mr. Ozemena, that your party hierarchy is being too high-handed.
No, to the rich.
Too high that
to the rich.
It's
to the rich.
It's like using a sledgehammer to
we're not comfortable
to kill flies.
Excuse me. No. If you watch where we lost election in highbrow areas, where you have these wealthy people, they fight against corruption. We lost in the highbrow part of Lagos. We lost in Abuja, in FCT, central area. But every other, the local people, the ordinary people, the rice farmers, the people who are benefiting from the loans, the market money, all those people came up in millions to vote for APC.
Okay, you observed the election, not just, of course, in Abia physically, but you also have reports coming from various parts of the country.
Yes.
What are the flaws you observed?
Well, we have not got it right completely, but we are getting there. At least in Bauchi. I keep talking about Bauchi. Adamawa. The two governors, sitting APC governors, they are not going to court. They have congratulated the winners. We are hoping that it will come this way too. Where once you lose election, you shake the other person for the interest of the people, for the interest of the common man. Because as they go to courts, go to tribunal, they still use the funds of the state. But like I said, the 9th Assembly will make it very difficult for election riggers in 2023 by the Electoral Act, the way it will be fashioned this time. So for me, it's not to hulu yet, but at least you can bear witness that it's not as bad as it used to be in 2007, for example, where people can sit in a room and write result and announce it. Or in 2011, where 2007, where a sitting president will come on air and say, "Look, I know my election was flawed." Nobody can say that of this president. So yes, this is a human being. Human beings are dealing with this, and so there must be these errors, human nature. So we are saying nobody is a saint here. If you bring even in America, that's why until Friday last week, they were still contending Donald Trump's election victory.
Thank you very much, Mike Ozemena, for being in our studio to discuss politics in Nigeria and the 2019 elections on the hot seat on MCL TV. It's a pleasure having you.
Yeah, thank you. This is a home like for me. Anytime you invite me, I want to come and then share my feelings with you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And to our dear viewer, it's nice knowing that you're still there up to now. We appreciate your time, and we say thank you for being with us. Bye-bye.
MCL, the world in your home.